Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ape Well. I'm Paper Ape, joined as always with Kaizen and Ty Waves. How are y'all doing?
Hey, GM, doing pretty good. Loving that intro beat more and more every week, I think. I don't know. What about you guys?
I was jamming hard over here.
Yeah, that's great, man. Who made that one again?
Oslo.
Oslo.
Yeah,
Oslo. Yeah,
yeah,
he killed it.
yeah. Shout out to the boy. Happy Monday, guys. How you doing?
Doing great. Just got back from a weekend with the family, had a family reunion up in Dallas. So, kind of didn't see any kind of whatever was happening with the market at all this weekend. So, I'm jumping into this blind.
Jumping into it blind. All right.
Yeah,
I
I
like.
don't think I don't think you missed a whole lot. The market remains pretty stagnant. Um, but yeah, I watched it loosely. I was working on some other stuff, starting to get back in the photography grind, and have a couple shoots scheduled in the next month. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, the market, I've always had the, in the evenings looking at what's going on, and there's not much.
That's awesome. I saw that you had a couple bids on your one of your pieces.
Yeah, we had a sale. It was a ATX guy, Nick, picked one up, which was really, really cool. And
Hell
uh,
yeah.
yeah, it turns out it's,
Congrats.
yeah, thank you. It's like a good match for his ape. And I think he's got like stoned eyes, bloodshot eyes, and the S&M cap. And the model was smoking and wearing the same hat. It was a really cool fit.
Dude, it was a perfect match. It was like I didn't it was like almost too good to be true and I didn't even notice it at first. So I was curious if you had like set that up with some of these Austin homies of yours or if that was just pure coincidence.
That one was random, man. Like
Hey, that's
the only one I really tried to do was Nefty's. Just be,
okay.
yeah, just because it had the bandolier, and
Yep.
I wanted to do something with that because I had one, and so that was the only one that was by design. But yeah, how cool is that, man? Another ATX guy had the matching ape.
Yeah, literally perfect. I'm so glad. I was so happy when I saw that.
Yeah, that was really great, man. And but yeah, the next two things I'm going to shoot are going to be totally different. So I'm just going to tease it a little bit, and hopefully in the next month I'll be able to drop another project.
That's what's
That's
up.
exciting.
Yeah.
Ty, how was your weekend? Are you back yet from Wisconsin?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I got back, I think Friday. Yeah, late Friday. And yeah, just kind of settled in. Haven't been home for a few weeks. So just had, normal things to take care of. But yeah, tried to pay attention, tried to degen a little bit this weekend. Looks like there was a couple plays. Degods are going crazy. Of course, we have the VMA performance last night. So I don't know. I feel like there's some good stuff to chime in about. But before we get to it, Paper, I got a question about this family reunion, fam.
Yo, what's up?
Did you talk about NFTs and how many of your family members did you get to unfortunately buy the top, even though you've been telling them to buy for years and years? And how did it go?
Surprisingly, no, like I didn't talk any NFTs at all. If that was the one thing, it was weird because I didn't want to even bring up that I was in crypto.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so like I just said I was in finance, and then if the people that were interested could ask me questions and dig down that rabbit hole if they were interested.
What type
Some
of
people actually were, but I think I brought up crypto like one time the whole weekend, so it wasn't bad. But yeah, no, thankfully I didn't show anything at the top because I'm not. I ain't like that.
No, that's what's up. I'm just giving you a hard time, man. It's cool that you got to see
Yeah.
some.
No, actually though, on that thing, I did show some NFTs towards like kind of towards just some shitty NFTs towards the NFT top. I was like giving them out as gifts and stuff, and now it's like worthless. So I'm like, ah, fuck.
That's
But
hilarious.
we all good?
We all
Yeah, man, I did that last Thanksgiving, and I didn't shill any NFTs, but I was definitely telling anybody that would listen to me, like, you have to buy Bitcoin, you got to buy ETH right now, and that was just about the top, and nobody listened to me, so I'm good.
hey,
Yeah.
all right.
I mean, it is a challenge in itself to try to convince somebody to buy any kind of crypto.
Facts. Facts. It's not. Yeah, it's like the harder you try, the less ground you make. So Yeah,
especially right now.
Yeah, especially right now. Not great. Not great.
So it sounded like you were watching the VMAs last night.
You know what? I didn't watch it live. I kind of lost track of time, but I jumped right on the timeline, like pretty much right after it went down, I think, and like caught the recap and everything, and saw all the apes talking about it. I don't know. Personally, I thought it was pretty tight. I mean, those are like performances probably not even necessarily like geared towards like our age demographic. Like it's more of a younger crowd, and I feel like they would maybe even be more into it or something. But I don't know. I thought it was cool. At least like dope mainstream performance, and I was surprised to see the Otherside get on there too.
Yeah, I didn't think they would actually mention it as much as they did.
Yeah,
but it was like the entire video,
right?
Kaizen, did you watch that last night?
I did, and I like seeing the codas, and I thought having the land in there was a great touch. And honestly, I was a little underwhelmed. Like, I hate to be the the downer on it, but I thought it was okay. But I think that you're right, Ty. I think I'm not the demographic that they were aiming for. Like, and I think any publicity is good publicity for Bored Apes. And I don't know what I was expecting, but you know what? I think the thing that bothered me is just such a big percentage of it was like pre-recorded. And I wanted to see them perform. Like I'm a fan of both those guys, and I like watching them on stage. And it was just it was great that it was Bored Apes, but it was just like, hey, let's press play and let's just watch this thing.
Yo, I totally agree with that. I feel like they still could have been on stage, like in person, like doing their thing with that background. And maybe we're a small, like obviously we're a super small community, but maybe the majority of people didn't think it was that dope. Like I definitely see that side of it. And like I saw a couple gripes about the production quality and stuff. Like thought it was pretty solid overall. But yeah, I mean, still thought it was a cool performance. And like they added a couple AR things, it looked like, to the TV viewers that weren't there if we were in person, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, what'd you think about those? Some of those were crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy. I mean,
you see that giant twerking girl?
I saw a picture of that this morning. Who was that with? Who was that for? But was that Bad Bunny's performance?
I think so. It was some Latin artist. They shouted Colombia at the end, so I don't know if Bad Bunny's from Colombia, but somebody from over there.
Yeah, I did see that. That was that was hilarious.
So wild. One thing that I thought was really interesting from the VMAs is that they made a brand new category called Best Metaverse Performance.
Did they really?
Yeah. I didn't actually.
Who won that?
So you probably would have expected like Eminem or Snoop or somebody too. I know that's where my mind immediately went.
Was it?
But it was. What were you gonna say, Ty?
I didn't want to cut you off. I don't even think it happened this year, but like the Travis Scott Fortnite thing came to mind. I didn't know if Fortnite won it though.
Oh yeah, that would be an interesting one. I'm sure. Oh, they said that this was the first year ever for it, so they definitely didn't have that when that was around. But I guarantee that would have won.
Right? Who won though?
Before I give it away, I'm gonna try to. I'm looking at the nominees right now. I'm trying to name them all and then have you guys guess. Okay.
Let's do it.
Oh shit! It says I was gonna share my screen, but it says who won. All right, so there's 6 different finalists for this. The first one is Blackpink with, I guess, something they did. Ariana Grande did something in Fortnite, and that was one of them. BTS did something in Minecraft / YouTube. Charlie XCX did something in Roblox. Justin Bieber did something on Wave. And then 21 Pilots did something on Roblox. And those are the 6 nominees for Best Metaverse Performance.
Damn.
I'm gonna go with Biebs. Wild. I'm going with Biebs just because he's got a Bored Ape.
Yeah, that's legit. I remember Biebs doing something. I'm gonna go BTS because of YouTube and the other partner that you mentioned.
Yeah, I would have guessed BTS also, but it was Blackpink for whatever they did. They did something in PUBG Mobile.
Oh, that's Blackpink. Dang. Okay. I saw them do another. I think their performance last night had something with it too. Um, yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, the fact that it's got its own category right now is
That's big for
like
us.
right. That shows where this is headed. And like the Travis Scott thing, and I know there's been other performances, I think in Fortnite or like Unreal or something. So yeah, that's where we're headed.
It's pretty wild. But I'm definitely a simp for the Blackpink girls now after last night.
I'll have to check that out. That's interesting. I've never heard of them, but yeah, I might be a fan too. But I think a lot of this like is Guy Otsiri, right? Like he's
Yeah.
a big time person in the music industry, and I think the fact that we saw Bored Apes on MTV last night it's a big deal. Like say
Yep.
whatever you want about the performance, like it's a really big deal, and having him behind it, I think it's just like you guys are saying, it's just the beginning, and we're going to see more and more metaverse crossover stuff in the future. And like we always say, we're very early, but I'm here for it. I'll definitely catch some shows in the metaverse.
I'm wondering where it's gonna go from here. Like if how many other people are gonna do things in the other side. Because it seems like they, for all the different nominees that were nominated for the Metaverse performances, it always had some platform that they did the performance on. I wonder if that's where the other side is headed, to be one of those platforms.
Yeah. That would make sense.
The functionality that I really want out of like my metaverse land is to be able to do something like we're doing right now, like have video chat and like have people into my metaverse house and like, hey, let's just hang out. And that would also give you the ability to be like, hey, I'm gonna perform. Like if you're a musician, a rapper, a DJ, like you could stream that into your space, and like that's the functionality I want to be able to have. And I think it would open the door for all kinds of performers to do that too. And who knows what they're building, man? But I hope they have that.
I think that's where it's going to be headed. It sounded like from on the Full Sin podcast, Gordon was saying like if you had some kind of first person shooter, you could basically build that into the other side on your land. And I guess if somebody comes on your land or however that works, then they can play Call of Duty or whatever your game is on your specific land, and like that's your experience within this giant platform of different games. So I think that's definitely possible. It's probably going to happen.
Yeah, that would be insane.
So how far out do you think we are, guys? Like if you had to, this might be a good sticky pad thing. Like within a year, less than a year, or 2 years. Like how long until we have like fully functional other side?
Like what? I guess what do you mean by fully functional?
Yeah, that's a good question, right? Like it's probably always going to evolve and add new features.
Let's
I
say
don't know.
like after there's the 13 first trips or however many there are. I think it's 13. It might be 11. But I think that's when they plan on doing the official first launch. So let's go by that.
First launch, I would hope 2 years. I would say 2 years is a good target. And like if we got to backdate that a little bit from whenever it launched, I would go with that.
My guess would be end of next year. I I want to be optimistic and say like 6 months, but I know it's not going to be that long. I say at least a year, but I'd say I probably lean towards a year and a half.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think you guys nailed it. I think it's going to be up to 2 years and definitely more than a year. So 18 months, yeah, something like that.
I mean, it seems like Yuga Labs just got done hiring people, or maybe they're still hiring new people. But it seems like it would take some time for them to get acquainted and then really start building out everything after they have those foundations.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure like how big Improbable is, the company that they partnered with for the other side. But I imagine that with all the funding, like there's a lot of resources being put into this. So you would hope something playable or like demoable, maybe even just like to check out your own land or something within a year. But yeah, I don't think we'll get to like building on top of your land or any of that, like maybe full functionality for another like 18 months.
Yeah, it would be nice to know how all that is going to work, like how building on the platform is going to work. So people that want to build experiences can start planning for that ahead of time, or maybe start building now in anticipation of the platform being ready. But that would also take away from like all the speculation that we're doing. That would probably answer a lot of the questions right there.
Yeah, totally. I mean, how to develop on top of it is major key. I don't know. I didn't hear any of those details in the podcast though either, but I mean, there's not like too many ways to build a first person shooter game, right now. You know what I mean? Like sure, there definitely is, but it's like it's basically, not too many options in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I agree. Did y'all buy anything this week?
No, I did not. I've had my eyes on a couple collections. I was thinking about a Degod, but also kind of feel like maybe I missed the train on that. But I think those Degods are gonna run, fam. Like they're going crazy.
Oh my god,
they're going crazy, bro.
I did a stream, did live research on Degods last week, and it was 420 floor price.
Yeah, they're up to like almost 600 right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's all because of the dust token, it seems like. So
and
if you, yeah, for sure.
And I think Utes missed September 2nd. Like, there's really no reason why they shouldn't run until the 2nd.
Yeah, did y'all apply for the Utes mint?
Not yet. It's on my to-do list.
You're running out of time, fam.
Yeah, I know I'm running out of time. Kaizen, you on this?
No, I'm gonna sit it out, man. Like I wish this wasn't on Solana. Like it's probably obviously I missed a big move because of it, but I can't cross that bridge yet.
Feel you.
And man, maybe do you think there's any chance they would ever try and move it to Ethereum? Is that I think projects have done that, right? Or would there be no reason for them to actually try and make a move?
I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but something tells me that like that's not in their DNA.
Yeah, I don't think they would, just because it seems like they're trying to be the flagship project on Solana.
What's the floor?
587.
Jeez.
Yeah, you got it. Magic Eden has the accurate one.
Right.
I guess most of them don't list on OpenSea, which makes total sense.
Yeah, there's like 3 listings.
So of course the question is, what is that in ETH? Like I guess I got to pull out my calculator.
I think it's like 9 or 10, dude.
587 times 31. So it's about 18 grand. 15, 23. So yeah, almost 12 ETH.
Woo! Let's go.
So they're about to flip mutants with this coming up here.
Ooh, chill, guys, and chill.
Hey, I'm not buying this thing, man. Like, I've been wrong a lot of times on this podcast, but I feel like this is the perfect like bear trap where it's like people start to get hyped on things, and yeah, if you jumped in and caught that wave, you got it. But I feel like in this range, man, you're kind of buying at the top. So it's risky. You can do it. Anybody out there that's thinking about it, but man, yeah, we could go. You should have bought it.
Totally.
Right now we're getting real close to that. I feel like it's top signal.
Yeah, I think we're close also. There's nothing that they're doing that's innovative compared to any other project. It just happens to be the most popular thing on Solana. I don't think it's going to last because they got Utes coming up in a few days, and then what's going to happen after that? Who knows?
But props to them, though. I mean, for real, like having anybody care about a project on Solana, like congratulations. Like that's well played. Like they're doing a lot of stuff right, but I don't know, man.
Congratulations on not rugging.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, shout out to them. I mean, their floor price basically tanked, and like they rebuilt the whole project and community. Um, Community's strong. I mean, you can tell, especially at this point, like whether it's FOMO or not. I've seen a lot of other projects jump in, like notable names, even from Apes. And hey, if there's anything we've learned from the Bored Apes, it's like don't undersell the value of community. And I think Frank's done a crazy job building like that brand and that community. And like, yo, diehard community, that's what it takes. Moonbirds, like that's a crazy diehard knit community. Apes and Degods looks like it's going crazy too. Just my take. Just my take. I think you guys are right though. Like short term, hey, we might be towards the top, but last time, typically, like when projects launch that secondary collection, it runs up until the point of that secondary. So I think we got a few days, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did flip mutants by the time Utes drop. But then I would expect to see a standard like pullback, like probably pretty serious, like we've seen in the past too.
This is going to be an
Go ahead.
interesting sweep or sell segment today because that's probably going to be the first thing we touch on. So I'm excited for that one.
Oh, I think I got smoked in sweeper cell last week.
Let me check.
Actually, I got one more thing on Degods before we move into that. Like, I agree with you, Ty, with almost everything you said. And I think the other thing that's kind of in this equation that is kind of propping it up is, I think Paper said it, is dust. And the only utility token I see surviving any of this in the NFT metaverse ecosystem is Ape. And because it's Bored Ape and they got there first, and I just think, in 6 months, dust will be worth almost nothing, and it'll just, I don't know,
literally
man.
Be dust.
It'll be dust. And again, another hot take, but I don't know that they're doing anything differently than anybody else as far as their tokenomics. And we'll see, man. I think ultimately that's another thing that'll count against it. Once that floor price of dust starts to pull back, people will start to bail, man, and that's just going to make it fall even faster.
Yeah, that's valid. I really don't know anything about dust other than sounds like it's getting shredded. I don't know if I'd buy a NFT project's currency on Sol, though, for sure.
No, that's like the shittiest of shit coins right there.
Damn.
Yeah. So you get dust if you stake a Degod, which is why people are buying them. But it doesn't have any utility. It's not going to survive. Simple as that. Honestly, ApeCoin's not going to do well either. So I think at least I sold the rest of my bag. I was DCAing a little bit since it's been low, and then I saw myself barely in the positive, and I jumped ship after that.
I think.
I'm worried about this right here.
Yeah, the macro environment is not good for us right now.
Damn.
I am not going to fight the Fed. That is a big rule that I don't break.
Yeah, and man, the macro environment is tough right now. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't trust a lot of the narratives that come out. Like obviously when the chairman of the Fed is bearish, I don't know, man. Like it would be interesting to like counter trade some of these headlines and see what happens though. I don't know, man.
I had a tweet pulled up where Jim Cramer said he was buying today. So I'm fading him also and still fighting the Fed.
So Cramer's buying? Is that what he said?
Yeah, Cramer's buying today.
No.
So
oh no.
Yeah, isn't Cramer's like Cramer's inverse portfolio is like up crazy right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the guy started off with like I think 1,000 or 5,000, and now it was like 50,000 over a short period.
Swag.
Yeah, he's the worst, man. Cramer. Oh my god.
It's actually impressive how bad he can be. He's almost like me during sweep or sell.
All right. Let's see the results, man. How did we do?
All right. So this past week, also I have a rule change proposal. I need to run it by y'all, but I'll explain last week's sweep or sell before this one. So
All
let me
right.
get the. All right, we got sweep or sell pulled up bottom corner. It's official now. All right, so I did terrible. Minus 16.56 ETH. I got 6 out of 11 correct. Ty, you were in second place. You got 4.2. You're positive. And 7 out of 11 correct. And then Kaizen, winner of 2 weeks in a row, coming out at 6.3 profit and 8 out of 11 correct.
Cash money.
Nice. Okay. I mean, I think I sold almost everything. So, well, I guess you kind of did the same thing, Paper.
Yeah, I sold a little bit too much. See, my problem is I miss the big ticket stuff. So like I'm missing on Bored Apes moving 11 ETH, and then ENS domains moved 6.8.
Whoa.
And so that was basically all my losses right there.
Man, I knew I should have caught those ENS domain.
Yeah, and it's gonna be interesting because of how high they are for this week. But I want to propose a rule change, boys. So I think if you sell something, you shouldn't be penalized because you don't actually lose that money. It's just opportunity cost. I think our points should only be judged on what we sweep because that can go up or down because you put your money in the game, and then that's real money. But the sell is just imaginary at that point. What do y'all think?
So you're saying you can only make or lose? Does that go for ETH too? Like you only make or lose that ETH if you actually sweep it?
Yeah. So you can't lose or gain money off a sell, but you can only make or lose money off a sweep.
Hey man, I'm cool with it. It sounds legit, and like you kind of made these rules as you went. Oh shit, my bad. That was probably super loud.
You're gonna have to get to sweeping now.
Yeah, my bad. I'm good with the rule change.
Okay, so I personally like having to make a choice, right? But I guess the thought experiment is like if you own one of these things, do you keep it or do you sell it? And I like that, but I'm down for whatever, man. Like it's a fun game either way.
Yeah, I agree because it all depends. In real life, it would depend how you trade it. Like if you sold with the intention of buying back in, then it should count for total ETH. But I don't know. I think it's something we could try for this week if y'all want to agree to that before we jump into the top 10.
Let's try it out. Let's do it. And I think I'm gonna come for you, man. Whatever. Either way, I'm gonna just keep stacking my ETH in this imaginary game, and let's try
You're
it.
doing well. I mean, you're up 13 and a half ETH in the past 2 weeks.
And
So
meanwhile,
you're about break even from.
But meanwhile, my portfolio's down bad, my real portfolio. But this is still fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm so glad this ain't real life because I started out at negative 15.3 and I keep getting worse somehow. I get more correct each week, yet my ETH goes down.
I'm still, Ty, your win percentage is pretty solid, man. Like you're way over 50%.
Yeah, win percentage is solid too, and I feel like if those rules apply though, Paper, like if you retroactively redo the rules, it's probably not as bad everybody's first couple weeks for sure.
Oh, definitely.
But Kaizen,
I think
yeah.
One thing that I did notice that was pretty interesting to me is that the Bored Ape floor price 2 weeks ago was 79, and then it changed to 67.89, and then today, the floor price is back to 79 from 67.89. So it just went down 11.11, and now it's back up 11.11.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much of that was the FUD around the bin DAO, right? Like I wonder how much that really affected those people that were selling during that time frame.
Yeah, I'm sure it shook a lot of people out. Well, not a lot, but some people out who vaguely understood it, but thought it would have more of an effect on the long-term price. Which still, who knows how that's going to end up going? But it seems like it seems like we avoided the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it turned out to be a non-issue.
Awesome, awesome. All right, let me get the sweeper cell. Oh, I already got it pulled up, of course. All right, so we're getting into it. Sweeper cell. I think it's really weird collections today.
Yeah, that's going to be hard, man. I was looking at some of this before the broadcast, and I don't know a whole lot about a lot of these projects.
We're gonna find out about them today, that's for sure. I've seen a few tweets on these. I'm just gonna get these all pulled up right here. I'm wondering how many are rugs.
I think we have several rugs in this top 10 right now.
Yeah, I mean, one stands out to me, but
Yeah, I mean, we can glance over some of them too, to be honest.
for sure. All right, so I don't know if this is legit or not. I saw there was a pretty high sale that was circulating around Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like 300 ETH or something crazy, right? Like
Wait,
that
what?
has to be some kind of a
59
wash trade.
Yeah. Well, I guess what are these things even? That's probably a good question. NFT stealth drop entire. Okay, that's all the. You can't scroll up or down. This is all that the website is. So I'm gonna go ahead and sell this one at 14 floor price. I don't get it. Not for me. Who's next?
I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna cite the anime curse, and I'm gonna cite it's talking about the world famous game designers Gabrielle and Halbert. I did a little research on them. They were running Machine Zone, which they create these free phone games, Game of War, Fire and Age, and Mobile Strike. I don't care about those games. I don't really think that that's gonna help this project. Um, I'm selling, man. I don't feel it.
Yeah, that's those are valid perspectives. I'm probably gonna sell too because I don't know enough about it. But from what I do know, the whole thing seems kind of sus to me. And they were like 7 like 2 days ago, even like 9 last night, and then there was some crazy sweep. I think that took them to 16. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not feeling the project too much.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It is interesting to see that they only have 6,300 followers. Not too many people. I follow a lot of people in the NFT space, like almost 5,000, and less than 100 people I know that are following them. So that's sometimes a red flag to me.
But I mean, shout out to anyone who like because these were on the top 10 for a while. Like this little project they just recently revealed, and they were like, I don't know, it was available for a good flip. So like, if you got in, hey, shout out to you for that.
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, this was on the table, and man, some of these things just come out of the blue. I am looking. I am looking. This Meebit fashion person is buying a lot, so who knows if that guy's affiliated somehow? But
Right.
I'm just looking through these recent sales. Like he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the last hour, 8, 9. Man, that's a lot of ETH to drop on this.
He's buying a lot of them, or she.
He or she, yeah.
Them is buying a lot. All right.
That's like 100 ETH to spend on this thing in the last hour. Like
A lot of ETH.
Yeah, that's
Man.
conviction right there. We got Degods at number 2, and that's for 587 Solana. How many ETH was that? I forgot the number y'all said.
I think it was 12.
Yeah, 12.
All right. Well, I'll have to do the calculations. We'll do it in Solana anyway, just because it is just the floor price for today. So 587 Sol. I'm selling these. Like we were saying earlier, not really. I don't see the value. I don't see the value prop besides just the community. And I think once prices start going down, we'll see less of a community. And really, it's simple as that for me. Kaizen, it sounded like you shared a few of the same sentiments as I did when we were talking earlier.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sell. I do like the art. I like the project, and no, I'm not trying to FUD them at all. But it just feels like one of those kind of typical cycles where it's gonna pump, and then unfortunately, it's probably gonna fall back to earth. And I think Ty's right. I don't think we've peaked quite yet, but I think by the time we broadcast in a week, it'll be lower than this.
Yeah, this is the make or break, right? I think it's a close call because that mint for Utes, I think, is on the 2nd. I don't know if it's a one-day thing or anything about reveal, so I'm kind of banking on like what's going to happen in that like 24 to 36 hours between like any top we might see from that over the weekend and our show. So I don't know. I'll buy them. I'm sweeping. I'm sweeping the Degods.
Ballsy move.
You know what I mean? Hey, got to risk it for the biscuit.
Yep. If you're trying to make that ETH, you got to take a risk. Also, just wanted to give a shout out to the people in the audience. Feel free to play along with us. We encourage that. If you guys let us know if you sweep or sell these too. We've had Daddy-O in the past tell us we're all wrong on A Pepe's, and then it turns out that's completely right. And he claimed that clout. So it's an opportunity for everyone to get involved, which is why we love this collection or this segment. But moving on to number 3, we got the Renga Black Box. This is actually a pretty interesting thing to me. It sounded like the people behind 10KTF are also behind this. We Knew Labs, I should say.
That's what's up.
That's all I know about this, and that already had me want to buy in. I think earlier today the floor price was 0.5. I think it was a little bit down, but now it's 0.57.
Yeah, I think like pre-reveal or whatever, like they were 0.55, and then like it looks like there's a few different types of these boxes, and this black box is the most common. And I think that has something to do with the type of character that you might get, or like what class of PFP comes out of this. I might be wrong, but I was looking into Renga too. I think it looks pretty dope. Like this is another one too, where like if they extend this reveal and whatnot, if that's what it is, I could see these also going up, and it looks like just a fun project to be a part of.
Do you know when the reveal is?
I don't. Like I said, bro, I didn't have enough time to like check this out this weekend. I'm just settling in, but Renga was on my list today. This is the same artist who did the Art of Seasons.
I'm not familiar with that one.
I think it was a project we've talked about. I don't know if we were doing sweep or sell back then, but we've definitely talked about it on here at one point.
Okay, yeah, it even mentions it down here. So it says so everyone who had an Art of Season was airdropped the Renga Black Box. Interesting. Doesn't say anything about the date that it's going to come out. Maybe we can find it on Twitter. But just off of what we've seen right now, 0.52 floor price, I would sweep. Because I'm interested in this myself, and if they are connected with WeKnew, I saw a teaser that somebody from 10KTF made of the one of the Renga, I guess whatever's inside the boxes, printed on a 10KTF backpack. Oh no, it was a Kevlar vest, and it looked dope. So I think there's going to be some connection there, and I'm not going to fade 10KTF. So 0.57 floor price is a sweep for me.
I did see that Tiger Kevlar. That was dope.
Let's see if I can find it.
All right, I'll sweep them too.
And how you feeling about the Renga?
I'm gonna go against you guys on this one. Man, I'm conflicted, but just to kind of play the game, I'm going to go against you guys. Honestly, I don't have a strong opinion either way. Like, I would give it equal chance to go up or down, but just for the sake of trying to win, I'm going to go against you guys.
Valid. Yo, question about the rules really quick. All right. So,
All right.
Hear me out. So, right now you can only make or lose money if you do a sweep, right?
Yeah. I honestly, before you say anything else, in my head, I'm already kind of like, maybe I'm I'm wanting to backtrack on the rules.
No. I mean, I'm not necessarily for or against it yet because I don't really know how it plays out. But like part of that does make sense because I think like it's almost two separate scores, right? Like we're sweeping it because we're trying to make money because we think the price is going to go up, right? And we're not buying it because we think the price is going to go down. So we still get our greens and our reds on our decisions. And we can still look at those and be like, all right, was that right or wrong? And that's like you're still like your batting average basically, as opposed to like, all right, what's your return on your decisions? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like two different scores. So
Yeah.
I kind of like keeping track of both of them because one is like, all right, how good are you at judging just the project going up or down? Like you got a high win rate. And then on the decisions where you actually pull the trigger, are you making some cash? It's kind of cool to me. I don't know. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's a really good point because each week we do highlight more than just the amount of ETH. It's also amount correct. So you don't always have to be sweeping to get a bunch right.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a really good point. I
like,
think it will be cool to see.
If you were to go with like any of us over the history of this, like, hey, there's a greater than 50% chance we were right is what it looks like. That's kind of tight.
Right, because then it just shows that you're good at picking the right pitches to swing on, basically.
Right. And yeah, I mean, like that's cool. Keeping track of that.
And it's like if you can win the ETH and the sweep, and the total, then you're definitely winning.
It's like it's almost like the Triple Crown. It's like I need one more thing now.
Yep. Well, I need to get on the board. That's for sure. One of these weeks will eventually come to me. But y'all are killing it so far. The one thing I do want to say about that is also if we do go by those rules, I calculated it earlier. We're all in positive on ETH for our sweeps. So it does change things a lot in terms of how much ETH we make on these theoretical trades.
That's what's up.
Cool. So moving on, number 4 I think is the other deeds. These were up from like 0.153 last week to 1.85. And I think a lot of it probably had to do with the VMAs. What do y'all think about that?
I totally agree, man. I was about to say the same thing. Like, I think we got a little tiny pump because of the VMAs, and I think we're going to fall back on the other side, so I'm going to sell.
Ty?
Yeah, I don't know. These went up a little bit from the last week, I think, right?
Yeah, they've been sitting, let's see, 7 days ago. I guess it's average price. It doesn't really give a good representation of the floor. But they've been down below 2 ETH for, it seems like, weeks now.
Yeah. I'm selling.
I'm selling too. I think it was just that VMA pump. I don't think it'll last. There's still a lot that are listed at like very close to the floor, and I've been checking these like every day. So agreed with y'all. Is this a rug?
No,
It doesn't have a website.
Definitely not a rug.
Wait, really?
Yeah, dude, no. So get it. This was a project put out by Commonopoly, and he's a well-known figure in Treasure and like Smallverse. So he would do like a lot of derivs for a lot of smalls and was working on a couple different projects. I've been tracking him for a while, but this was just a project that he put out, and it's kind of dope because it's like Arbitrum's or Trove, which is the marketplace for Arbitrum and Magic. It's their first launch on an L1, so it's kind of tight.
How does that work?
I have no idea. I just saw him talk about it, and I don't know if they partnered or just decided to do it, or who knows. But it was to try to get more people like aware, I think, of Trove and show that it can be on both somehow. But definitely worth looking into a little bit more if you're curious about it.
That is interesting.
It's got like it's maybe somewhat comparable to like if like Monopoly's not not a super featured artist like Chimpers, but like it'd be similar to like when Timbers launched his project Chimpers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. And I love the pixel art on it also.
Yeah, the pixel art is dope. I mean, I could definitely see this being a project that like the notable names in our space jump onto and latch onto, especially because it's so low. I think this minted yesterday, and there's another 1,500 or so that are going to mint round 2 tomorrow, or for anybody who didn't mint out. But like, I was digging through this project last night, and the way that they put it together is pretty dope. Like, I'm a fan. I think it's pretty cool.
So are you sweeping or are you selling at 0.06?
At 0.06 in the next week or two, I'm sweeping.
Kaizen, how about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna sweep too, and I really didn't know anything about it, but just Ty kind of sold me on it, and I do like the art. I'm just flipping through, and I like the vibe of it. I like pixel art in general, and I like the traits. And one funny thing, man, they have basically 4,000 male, 1,000 female, and 8 non-binary. And I just clicked on the non-binary, and they made them look like some kind of aliens. So I don't know if that's like some kind of political statement, but I thought that was kind of funny. But I do like that the one that was the highest sell right there, it sold for 3.28. I like that one a lot. I think that's clean.
Yeah, that one's cool. Kaizen, those are like alien noun glasses too.
Oh, okay. Yep, I see it.
Yeah, so the project shouted out like a bunch of different projects. If you're looking at that, all those aliens, that's a species too. And it's kind of cool because you can find like different versions of the PFP by like clicking on different traits and features. Like they'll get them to pop up kind of in unique ways. But like there's the pimp coat too hanging out, if you just saw that, like right underneath. Obviously we got like, the Mickey D's hat. Yeah, right. So there's hoodies, there's trolls, there's, you know what I mean, aliens.
This looks like this is something on Arbitrum, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, it looks like the Smoles. That's what it is, I think.
Yeah.
That's cool. Y'all, why are y'all doing this to me? Both sweeping this? I just am naturally inclined to want to sell it, but I do think the Trove thing is really, really cool. I think they did a smart thing by raising awareness this way, because I never would have known until it was like this. Oh man, it's tough. Let's see. Let me check some activity real quick.
Hey, take your time. Take your time. Do your thing. Anybody who's tuning in live right now, this is free alpha. This is project evaluation from Paper Ape live on the scene.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna put a timer on Paper for next week.
All right, it's trending down since yesterday. Yeah. It's only one day though, but I'm going to sell. I'm gonna stick with my gut feeling. 0.06. Lock it in as a sell for me.
There you go. Lock it in.
Are we gonna talk about Women Ape Yacht Club this week?
Man, I'm a big fan. No, I hate this, man. Why is this still in the mix? This is like the third or fourth, probably the fourth or fifth, like Bored Ape female derivative. I don't get it, man. Are people really buying this? Like, oh man, no, I'm gonna sell.
Yeah,
But
I don't even like. Is this a wash project? Is this even legit? Like, how does this thing continue to stay in the top 10? Like, there's just no way people are really buying this.
I guess they just keep minting new things. It says Phase 2 mint is live. Buy on OpenSea.
It can't be. Can't be. Careful.
Should I click it? Oh, there's going to be an airdrop. Snapshot in 19 hours. Pretty much a guaranteed sell. Whether it's a rug or not, it's going to 0. And on to the next one. Outside. Have y'all heard of this one?
No,
not before this morning looking at the chart.
All right. So it's a series of NFTs. It was created by artists who has spent. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm so autistic when it comes to people's grammar. I'm not going to read all this. I'm going to sell it. I'm not going to read any of it. It's not my thing. I don't think who would use this as a profile picture. It looks like it's trying to be. Yeah, no. It's a sell for me. 0.38.
Man, yeah, I like some of this, but to your point, this is not a solid PFP. And to look at it like from I don't know, as generative art, right? Just to try and do that, the supply is just too big for that. Like, again, there's 1,000 Fidenzas. If you want me to look at this as being art, like, man, your 5K supply is too high. So I'm gonna have to sell it, man. Like, even though I do like some of it, like I think it's creative, but yeah, I just don't see it because it is ultimately looks like a PFP, and I don't think it works.
Okay, this one's kind of dope, though. I'm not gonna lie. It's like T-Rex looking thing.
Yeah, dinosaur one is actually kind of tight.
Highest, yeah. Check out the highest last sale. Like that one looks like the.
Yo, if this is your thing, there's like a gold metal plus gold dinosaur on the floor right now. Cheapest one.
Honestly, it is kind of tempting.
You should do it.
Yeah, this is the highest sale. It's sick. I'm not gonna lie.
I like seeing the hand drawn like inspiration stuff. Like I think that's a decent buy for 2 ETH if you actually believe in this one.
This one it gives me DMT vibes, and it's got the hoodie reference.
Yeah, that's clean. That's nice.
Ty, did you say whether you'd sell or sweep these?
I'm gonna sell. I don't know enough about the project right now.
All right. I want to look at a couple of these on the floor. Which one did you say was that dinosaur one that was close?
It was literally the floor piece.
One of these? Oh,
it was like 0.35. Maybe it got scooped.
Damn, the block is hot.
Yeah, it's gone. Somebody got it.
It's probably,
it got
somebody
scooped.
watching in the audience.
Wow, dude, front run live.
Yeah.
Dang. All right, now we know.
No, I'm kidding.
If you don't get front run doing the live broadcast, like you haven't been doing it long enough.
Yeah, or you're just too small. RIP. All right, Crypto Simeji official.
I don't know, man. These look so tempting. These were up. These were like 0.06, 0.07 at like 6 a.m., dude.
It's a free mint. I know you love your free mints.
Got to keep my breath smelling good, bro.
I mean, it's up to 0.1 right now. What are we?
And the best offer is 0.11. Like, that's your signal, bro. It's right there.
Let's see. Cryptos.
Let's learn about these guys. What are these?
Simeji keyboard app. So it's going to be some kind of emoji, but maybe you get an emoji of something. I I should start reading before I speculate.
It does say, yeah, future benefits, the Smedge keyboard VIP benefit, use and display your unique mushroom NFT avatars in the community. I don't know, man. Oh, the last one, type to earn benefits for NFT owners.
Type to earn. What the fuck is that?
I'm going to go ahead and sell. Like once I saw the type to earn benefit, I was out.
All right, wait, okay. It's supposed to be a meme community. She is favored by trend-sensitive Gen Z users and is leading the change of trends in Japan. I feel like you can't say we're the best meme community. Like, you just got to be the best meme community. To me, that's a red flag. So I'm going to sell these at 0.1.
Yeah, and man, like if you're calling yourself the best meme community, like I'm looking at just the ones on the website, and those don't feel like very meme-ish to me. So at least it's not my vibe when I think of memes.
Right. Like maybe in Japan they love this shit.
That's another red flag when your project says, yeah, we're big in Japan. Like, I don't believe you.
Ty, what do you think about all this?
I have no idea what to do here. I'm torn. I'm split right down the middle. I could see this going crazy over the next week because look at those cute little pixelated guys, man. NFT Twitter loves that shit. You know what I mean? Get a couple Web3 baddies, post a few of these things. Next thing you know, this thing's gonna go out of control.
I'm actually switching my mind. I saw they just minted, like, or I guess yesterday. And just because it's so time sensitive on it, I think they probably won't reveal by next week. So I'm actually gonna sweep. I change it.
Oh man, a week is a long time. I really hope these already revealed and within the next week because I'm selling these. I'm selling them.
Kaizen, did you already say whether you would sweep or sell?
I'm gonna sell.
I'm gonna do my due diligence here though. I'm gonna check them out a little bit more. Like 0.1's not bad. Maybe they're going crazy. This could be a moneymaker between now and next week if you're a Degen. But I'm playing the game here, so I'm selling.
I like it. All right, we'll see. Not super confident on that by any means. But ENS domains are next up on the list. Oops, wrong thing. All right, 999 Club. Every single week we cover it, it goes up. We're at 33 ETH, which is crazy because it was just 32 a few minutes ago. So yeah. 33 ETH. I'm sticking with my guns. I'm selling these. I'm gonna blame it on the macro environment this time. I think people need to actually cash their profits out to prepare for the upcoming carnage in the market. So I think they'll sell their Grail 3-character domains.
I'm sweeping.
Just had to counter trade your boy.
I've been burned on this like every week, but just kind of playing the odds. Like if I'm switching each week, I'm gonna miss it. If I just continue to sell this thing, eventually it's gonna go down. So based on that, I'm gonna sell. Holy smokes, man! Again, I guess I'm such a PFP homer that I just
you guys
I don't get it.
3 digits, you convinced me of something, Paper, and I went against my gut last week. But think how many characters are in a wallet address, fam. You know what I mean? Numbers are universal, dude. a 3-digit joint. Anybody who's got one of these, they don't have liquidity problems in the market. You know what I'm saying? And if they did, they probably already sold. So I think these are just going to go up, dude. Up, up, up. If you got a 3-digit OG, we were talking about the Dubai license plates, like these are going to go crazy. In a few years, in 10 years, in 50 years, you got a 3-digit ETH, like that's going to be one of the most OG price status things you can have, similar to a Bored Ape. Until they launch maybe 2s or 1s. But until they do that, I think these are going up.
All right. No, I respect it. I think long term, I agree with you. I think ENS domains are the ultimate metaverse asset because it's so easy to implement into everything you do.
Right? It's like, yeah, you said it.
Yeah. Did we already all say this? I smoked before today's episode, so my short-term memory is like a goldfish right now. I'm not gonna lie to
y'all. I'm sweeping, and I'm trying to convince Kaizen to sweep too.
I like it. I really do, and I think you guys are right. But here's like the wild card in this. Like,
Give me.
If you want to get a 3-digit, like whatever your initials are, like I don't know y'all's real initials off the top of my head, but like you could find like your first initial, last initial, and a number, and like that would be like 0.25 ETH. Like, or you can go with 3 numbers that might not even mean anything to you, and spend like 33 ETH, and that's kind of the only reason why I'm not as bullish on these. Like, unless these numbers really mean something to you. Whereas again, like I could do my first initial, last initial, and any number and pay like almost nothing.
Those are great points. Can't even argue with it.
Yep. I can't remember if I said it earlier, but I'm selling at 33. I think it's too high. Oh yeah, I already went into that. Okay.
But I do want to say though, I agree, Ty. I think this overall long term, these will kill. But as far as me personally, that's the reason why I'm not going to reach, because I could get something more personalized for a lot less.
Totally. Yeah, I think the returns aren't great when you realize that the utility is just to send somebody something to an easy address to remember.
I mean, right now, maybe not, but yeah, like down the line, you know what I mean? Fast forward 50 years, like either of those, you know what I mean? Like you got your initials and a number or 3 numbers, like it's going to be badass.
Oh yeah. But I mean, I think a lot of people in profit probably aren't in a position where they can hold something that's that valuable. Like if things do go bad, which like it seems like things are headed that way, then they're going to need to start playing more defensive with their money and cashing out.
Valid.
All right. Final collection of the day. Clone X, Takashi Murakami, 70th floor price. How we feeling about these, fellas? I want to hear it from y'all first, because I feel like I'm biased from having a Clone X.
Totally.
I'll start, man. I'm happy to. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys my big picture thesis on it. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, Paper. I know you're a bag holder. My only problem with this project is, unfortunately, the fact that they're owned by Nike. And I think that most people look at that as being a positive thing. And I think that the fact that they are, like, kind of hamstrings them in a way where it's like, Nike, like how much does Nike care about this project? Whereas you could say most other like kind of blue chip projects, like this is their thing. And like they're in it, like live, breathe, and die, live and die by it. And they're going to do everything they can to push it. And I think that ultimately Nike, I don't know how deep they're going to go with it. Like they have deep pockets as a brand, but I just don't know like how much they care about this. And so that's my kind of like long-term kind of bearish sentiment on it. And so based on that, I'm going to kind of bet against them for a little while. But that's my hot take, man. And I'm sorry, because I know you're a bag holder, and I hope for your sake, I'm wrong because I don't have any skin in the game, but that's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, no disrespect at all. Ty, what do you think?
I don't know. I think I respect the take for sure. It's a little too early to call for me. Nike's probably one of the best storytellers there is on like a corporate level that we've ever seen. So for Web3, where that's so important, and now they've got all these characters in Takashi, I could see them doing something cool with it. I think it's also so easy to shoot your foot, and they've got so much resistance for being Web 2 that it's going to take time. But I don't know. It's probably not a terrible entry point either. Like it's a quality brand, quality team. Paper, do they have any announcements or anything coming up that like Clone X holders are aware of?
There is a ton on the roadmap for between now and the rest of the year, but I don't know the exact dates on anything because I don't follow it close enough.
Got you. I got you. I don't know. I'm just looking at it on the week to week. Like I'm probably going to sell.
Yeah. No, I definitely get y'all's sentiment. I'm torn on this one, being a bag holder, because I see Nike's vision with the whole thing. Kaizen, to your point about how much does Nike actually care about Clone X, I think they care a lot. But there's also a big thing about timing the market. And I think right now they know the market's it's not a really great time to release anything. So going off that, I also don't think we'll see any announcements happen anytime soon until there's a definite what's going to happen next in the market. There's still too much uncertainty for me. So I'm also going to sell alongside you guys. But yeah, long term, definitely bullish on this community. Really cool stuff going on over there.
Yeah. I mean, I would have to assume that like they care about the project enough that they, acquire the studio, and they've got a lot of stuff like, what I mean.
I hope I'm wrong, man. I really do. Like I think if they were successful, and Nike is, in my mind, the number one shoe company in the world, and they probably are financially, like it would mean so much to this space if this project succeeds. But I think the analogy that I'm kind of trying to make is, and Ty, you've probably seen this in kind of the startup environment where it's like there's this really promising small company that's making these strides, and then they get acquired by say like Facebook, and then it's just like, yeah, they're just one more thing inside this huge piece portfolio, and that's kind of where my head's at. And again, I hope I'm wrong because I like the art, I like the project, I love Murakami. Like I really want this to succeed, and that's just my fear is that it's just another piece of this giant corporation.
Yeah, I totally get that perspective, and I hope that doesn't happen. And I wonder, like, at what point maybe Clone X or Artifact like leaves the scene. You know what I'm saying? And it turns into some other name, some other project. Do we lose the lightning bolt logo that's on some of the ads and stuff right now? And does Nike completely take it over? But the other thing that they got when they picked up Clone X was like an entire community. You know what I mean? And they've got access now to experiment, to try. They didn't have to build anything from the ground up. And I feel like, hold on, I got these sirens going crazy.
Yeah, we can hear a few of them in the background.
They're coming. No, I mean, like, how hard do you think it would have been for Nike to launch their own PFP project and get support behind it? Like, we kind of saw Puma try to do something. Like, what? We all faded it. I feel like, at least the three of us, like from a Degen perspective, the Adidas, they chimed in with Punks and Bored Ape, but they didn't launch their own PFP. I think that would have been a huge struggle. Like, who's going to buy a Nike PFP in the space? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, we might buy it to have in our portfolio, but it's kind of like Nickelodeon vibes. Like, And could Nike maybe do something visually pleasing and dope? Like, is it out of the question? Not at all. I'm just trying to make the point that I think it would be really hard for them to launch a traditional PFP and characters and foundation to a metaverse solely. And they didn't even partner with a company to do it. They just picked up a company that already had a damn near diehard community, did a ton of things right. And now they're attached to that in a way that we're still kind of trying to figure out. But I think like long term, that's just a good step by Nike, even like whether Clone X is the one that hits for them or not. They've positioned themselves much different than any of the other shoe companies in the space in terms of like building blocks that they can work off of and their ability to now try to innovate and experiment with everything that Clone X already had in place. So I don't know. Nike, it's been, they haven't really lost in their history, so it'd be cool to see what they could do with this. But yeah, week over week, I'm definitely going to sell these guys right now just because of where the market's at.
To me, their move to actually acquire Clone X instead of dropping their own collection shows how tapped into the space they are and that they're actually doing things right. Like, they're not trying to drop their own collection like Puma or Adidas.
Mm-hmm.
Because ultimately those didn't catch on and they would have had that same failure even if they do have the Nike brand attached to them.
Right.
Which now they don't have to worry about because they have the built-in community that's ready to, build stuff for the clones instead of just being there to build stuff for Nike. But one of the things that was interesting that I found when I was doing all the research for Clone X is that Nike is really hands-off with everything that Artifact does. So you can kind of look at any kind of shoe-related things that Artifact does. That's where Nike's main focus is. But as far as the clones and more metaverse type stuff, that seems like it's all in Artifact's hands. Just another thing that I don't think a lot of people know unless you've really dug into it like I have.
Yeah, and that's another thing that kind of counts against my argument is I am not deep into the ecosystem, and I'm just looking at it, really just guessing from like 1,000-foot view, and I have not taken the time to do the due diligence. And again, I hope I'm wrong. I want them to succeed because again, it would be the best thing for this space, man, to have Nike kind of make this relevant in a mainstream way.
Yep.
And yeah, I compare them to Puma, to what Adidas has done. Adidas has been successful, but I mean, I think outside of this merch drop, did you guys do that into the metaverse? Did you guys get the hoodie and all that?
I did.
Yeah, I got that too, man. And I'm like still like, I like the hoodie actually, but I'm still like, I'm kind of afraid to look how much I spent on the hoodie. Like, right? Like that's.
Oh, in USD.
Yeah. And that's kind of my other kind of being cautious about any of these kind of mainstream things. I'm like, yeah, it's cool to have the first Adidas NFT, but like, yeah, how much was that hoodie again? I probably spent like $500 on it. Let me see.
It's hard to look back at those prices, especially when you bought whenever we have to buy stuff in ApeCoin.
Yo.
Oh yeah.
Actually, right now it's probably got to be pretty cheap. I think that's one of the arguments you could use for buying ApeCoin is just like, all right, I'm going to spend this when it's worth more money, and I'm going to buy clothes with it.
Yeah.
It's just future clothes money.
Okay, so I actually made money on the Adidas thing because I was able to mint it. I spent 775 USD and sold it for 3,400. So I cannot complain about that. That's a rare win, man. I haven't had many wins lately, but that was a few months ago, so I'll take it.
All wins are good.
Yep. Do y'all have anything else on your minds before we head off? I had some topics written down that I wanted to talk about, and we covered them all: Degods, Ringa, and VMAs. So I got nothing extra to add before we hop off the pod. What about y'all?
No, I'm pretty good. I mean, it was a crazy weekend between Degods and VMAs. I think we'll see where we're at next week. But yeah, I'm excited to be back, and let's catch some drinks, fellas.
Yeah, I was about to say that same thing. We need to set something up on I'm free. I can be free any day. So let's chat.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
down, man. Like for me, guys, like Monday and Friday are the easiest. So let's figure it out, man. We'd love to meet up in person.
Hell yeah. Well, hope all y'all out there in the metaverse enjoyed this episode. Be sure to follow us, subscribe, all that stuff. We thank you very much for sticking around to the